Hey guys, it's Divine here from Merch.com. This is the second behind the scenes merchanting review, and I'm aware that quite a few YouTubers make behind the scenes videos too, but my focus is on the merchanting aspect as I'm not a hardcore RuneScape player, and this is of course a merchanting channel. Feel free to discuss the month or ask any questions in the comments below. I'll be responding to all of you as usual. Now keep in mind that nothing I say here is direct investment advice. Any investments you make are your full responsibility, so don't hold me accountable for any losses that you make. They are always your decisions. VIPs, keep in mind that there will be additional information and advice in the VIP advice section at the top of our forums. That's that, so let's have a look at what's in store for February 2014. First off, the Grandmaster quest, which sounds quite interesting. They're mentioning Dragon Rider armor, and we already know that the gloves and boots require level 60 defense, so it's quite likely that the armor will be level 62. Now, this is a bit odd considering the requirements for this quest, so I'm not entirely sure how they plan to work this out. What we do know is that Dragon Rider gear is Tribrid gear, meaning it can be used for melee, ranged, and mage, so that's probably why they only wanted to keep it at level 60. Otherwise it would devalue quite a bit of armors. It could possibly devalue some lower level armor still, but I don't expect too much of that. It would also make sense if the Dragon Rider amulet gave you some kind of combat advantage over dragons, or perhaps it's just something that allows you to talk to them. I don't know, but it's not really interesting merchanting wise. What's more interesting are the celestial dragons in their own new training area. Whether it's going to be a popular monster to kill depends on what kind of drops it'll give, and if it'll be a Slayer task, of course. We know that they're going to drop summoning related items, but if that's all, then it's not going to be much different from any other dragon. Increased charm drops would make sense if they added those, but we'll just have to wait and see if we get something like that. Now the demon drop table improvements are a very painful update. Like, the level 75 Abyssal Orb and Wand are going to massively devalue Arim's Wand and Book, Virtus Wand and Book, and also the Armadale Battle Staff. It's just dealing a massive blow to the economy without offering that much in return. It's not like we really need these items. We already have level 70 and level 80 equivalents. But I guess they're just filling up all the empty slots that we still have. I could also say it'll devalue the Staff of Light, since it says here that it's going to work in a similar way, but the Staff of Light isn't worth much to begin with, so that's not really relevant here. The Heist update offers nothing interesting for merchanting, but I hope that people will enjoy it and that it won't turn into rather dead content. Minigames were extremely popular many years ago, but nowadays it just seems really difficult to get many people involved in them anymore. That's quite a challenge for Jagex to overcome, but they've been doing great on many fronts over the past year, so we'll see how it goes. As for the polls here, we know that the first three, we knew their results, and they are coming out this month, of course. I'm pretty sure that Jagex found it very important here to immediately put as much of the new polling system in the game as possible to be really convincing to the players about their power to the players stance. Now, the Elf City will be around in the late summer, and we'll probably get quite a few polls about that still. Or, well, perhaps, well, there's got to be at least one, that's what I know of. They plan to add a Grand Exchange in this Elf City, and my only hope is that it will unlock more Grand Exchange slots. That would be fantastic, but I don't expect anything like it. Would be great, though. Anyways, moving on to the polls for this month. First off, one people have been asking about pretty much since EOC was introduced. Legacy mode will obviously go through, like we already have over 80% yes votes or something, last I checked. It will undoubtedly go at the cost of more content, but that if it's something people really want and if it's going to make the players happy, then they will happily accept that. It's going to shift some prices around without a doubt, so I'm also not complaining merchanting wise. But I'm mostly curious to see how Jagex is going to work it all out to make the two systems coexist. That's going to be quite a tough one. Anyways, next one, the bonus XP or double drops. That wasn't even a question, really. Like, you really just have to think. When Jagex first did a bonus XP weekend, the vast majority of the players was super happy about it. Like, I remember those days. Like, the first bonus XP weekend was insane. People were really freaking out so badly over it. But when Jagex first did a double drop weekend, it massively devalued a lot of items which of which many never returned to their former prices. The preference was clearly bonus XP, and it's winning badly at this point. This is, of course, very interesting for merchanting. It gives us many interesting investment opportunities, just like any other bonus XP weekend did in the past. Now, the problem this time is that because of all the bot banning, there are much less resources in the game than back then. And when this poll was announced, a lot of the items were already at the value they even peaked at during the last bonus XP weekend. Now, this makes people hesitate to invest at this point, and it made a bunch of investments less good than in the previous years. Now, just have a look at most herblore, summoning, and crafting materials. Loads of them are already high in price, so it'll be interesting to see how high they will go now, how much faith people will have in them. Now, the great part about this bonus XP weekend is that flipping resources will be much better this month, and there will be many short-term investment opportunities, so definitely keep an eye on those. The armor and weapon markets are definitely going to do worse this month. January was really their thing, but in February there's just not much for them except for updates that devalue them. Perhaps they'll get a little bit of interest around the Celestial Dragons, but I don't expect too much of that, as people are more focused on the bonus XP weekend and such, obviously. As for rares, around bonus XP weekends there is always a point at which people cash out their investments and rebuy these, so I suggest you to carefully watch them to pick the right moment to invest. That's it for this month, really. I look forward to some great entries on your merchanting logs. The past month has been very profitable, with over 10 billion profit uploaded by our users, and I have no doubt that they made a lot more but just didn't upload it. That's how it always goes for people. And I'll be curious to see how well you guys do in February. Good luck with your merchanting, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon for another video.